Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon, and then I post it up to Facebook and other social media. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom shakalaka done. I'd like to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. They're an online therapy company. They are international. They are affordable. And I've gotten really good feedback from people using them. They like their therapists, which makes me very happy. And they are enjoying their sessions, which also makes me very happy. So thank you, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. Okay, so I have been getting a lot of questions from people newly out of abusive relationships. And basically the theme of the question is, why are they in my head all the time? Why am I waking up first thing in the morning and thinking of them, last thing at night thinking of them? They pop into my head all the time. What's going on? Okay, so in a nutshell, the way abusers do things, the intermittent positive rewards. I love you, I hate you, love, 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 hate, 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 love, hate, 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 love. The intermittent positive rewards creates addiction, essentially. It's like we start living for those times that they're kind to us. So we start producing a bunch of oxytocin. We start, oxytocin. We start feeling, oh, I need to be with them. They do the physical stuff intensely in the beginning of the relationship, lots of sex, lots of touching, lots of all of this, because it gets the oxytocin going. It bonds you to them. When they leave, or when we leave, we start producing oxytocin like crazy. Our bodies just start producing it. And then we have a withdrawal. A lot like a drug addict. Not that we are addicted to the abuse. We are addicted to the abuser. I know. And they do it on purpose. They do that intense love bombing, and then the intermittent positive rewards and the withdrawing and all of that to get us hooked on the times when they're good to us, or normal, or kind, or how they were in the beginning of the relationship, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we start producing oxytocin like crazy. We start going through withdrawals, and then our brain kicks in, and our brain starts doing the whole, but why aren't they here? But why aren't they here? I need to think about them. I need to think about them. I need to think about, because it's trying to produce the same feel-good chemicals that you got in the initial first part of the relationship. That's why universally, when people get the devalue and the discard, they are longing to go back to that love bombing, or longing to go back to that wooing part of the relationship. But none of it was real, guys. That's the problem. That wasn't real. The real them is the devaluer and the discarder. That's the real them. So our brains are addicted to that high, to that feel good, to that, oh, wow, this is phenomenal. Oh my God, they're my soulmate. Oh my God, I love them. They love me. This is wonderful. And then they go away, and then we're devastated. And now we're dealing with this literal withdrawal from our drug of choice, which is the person who has been abusing us. Not that we're addicted to the abuse, we're addicted to the person. And specifically, we're addicted to the person who we hoped they would be, because we hoped that they were who they said they were in the beginning of the relationship. And that is what is so heartbreaking, because that was an illusion. So our brains start bringing them up, and often we'll dream about them. So I've had people go, oh, I've had a dream about them. What does that mean? Well, it means your brain is trying to figure out why this person who was so important to you is no longer there. That's all it is. Addicts do the same thing. So when I was working at the homeless shelter, my little guys would come up to me like, oh, I dreamed about using again. What does this mean? Does it mean I need to go use? Pollen. Sorry, excuse me. And I'd be like, no, that is just your brain trying to figure out why this thing you did multiple times a day for years is now no longer here. So the brain is trying to process why it's not here. It does not mean you need to go see them. It does not mean you need to talk to them. It does not mean you need to reconnect with them. Please don't. That would just be bad. So it's just the brain trying to figure it out. And so when we have them pop up in our head, so remember, and I've talked about this, we're going through grief, right? We're grieving the loss of the illusion. We're grieving the loss of what we thought we had, but we didn't. And that's really hard. And it's a complicated grief, because we loved who they were in the beginning, but then they showed their true colors and, oh, we don't like that person, but now they're gone. And whoa. So it's that complicated grief. So basically, it's you allow all of the emotions, but, and you basically go, this is who they really are. Healthy, normal people don't do devalue and discard. They do not seek to destroy. They do not seek to hurt. They do not seek to harm. They aren't out to get you, basically, whereas abusers are out to get you, basically. So in order to stop that cycle of, oh, I need to think about them because I need to feel good. Oh, I've thought about them and now I feel terrible, but I need to think about them because I need to feel good. Do you see where I'm going with that? So in order to stop that, when they pop up in your head, you're going to do thought stopping. So they're going to pop up and you're going to go, whoa, okay, there's the name of my abuser. Okay, I hear you. I see you. I hear you knocking. You may not come in. I am not interested. Go away. And then you remind yourself of everything they did to you. Seriously. And that's going to go on for quite a while. That honestly, it's like recovering from abuse. The grieving process is about 3 years, guys. It is, because it's not a normal loss. It's not like it was a good relationship and the person died, right? That's tragic enough. And that takes about a year to go through the hard grieving of that, right? And then the second year, it's kind of like the new normal. And by the third year, you're pretty much on track and doing okay. But with complicated grief, that first 3 years, you're going to be struggling with, but I love them, but I hated them, but I love them, but I hated them because, the way they treated you. It's like, that's complicated, and it's like, they did, they were this way in the beginning and then they did this to me. What the heck, and it's that kind of like mental, cognitive dissonance kind of thing, trying to break through all of that. So the bringing them up, the thinking about them first thing in the morning, thinking about them last thing at night, that's your brain's way of trying to get the feel-good chemicals going, because you did have feel-good chemicals in the beginning. Towards the end of the relationship, no, it was all pain. So really what it is, you do thought stopping. So the thought of them pops up and they're like right there. Okay, what are you, think about me, think about me, think about me. How am I doing on time? Oh, good. Think about me, think about me, think about me. And you just got to be like, nope, I hear you, I see you, I hear you knocking. You may not come in. You know why? You abused me. You did this to me. You lied. You cheated. You gaslighted. You stole. You rewrite history. You made fun of me. You put me down. You whatever. And then you send it on its way. And eventually, the more you say no to that thought and you refuse to go into walking down memory lane or thinking about the good times. See, that's the danger, is that people often get lulled into thinking about the good times so that they can, stimulate those endorphins, dopamine, serotonins, norepinephrines, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that's dangerous, because then you start forgetting all the things that they did. So what you want to do is, when that thought pops up, oh, here's the name of my abuser. Okay, nope, I hear you, I see you, and here's what you did. You lied, you cheated, you gaslit, you stole, you rewrote history, you bankrupted me, you whatever. And you remind yourself of everything they did, and then you refuse. I'm not, nope, you're not welcome up here. No, thank you. And then you think of things that you are doing to help yourself. So it's thought stopping. You say no to the thought, you send it on its way. That is different than resisting. So resisting is where an uncomfortable thought pops up. Now, this is, unfortunately, it's kind of a combination of an uncomfortable and comfortable thought, which is interesting. So a thought pops up and you really want to think about them. You really do, but you can't. So resisting, though, is where you go, oh, here's the thought. Oh, no, I'm not thinking about him. I'm not thinking about him. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not thinking about it. What am I thinking about the whole time? So instead of doing that, you're going to acknowledge it. Hi, abuser's name. I hear you. I see you. I hear you knocking. You cannot come in. You want to know why? And then you list off every rotten thing they ever did to you. And then you send the thought on your way, and then you force yourself to think about something else that you're doing for you that brings you pleasure. Because you got to get the brain out of that rut of thinking of your abuser to jack up those endorphins and dopamines. Because that's what we're doing. It's like a drug dream. It's like thinking about your favorite drug. It's like, that kind of thing. You got to literally look at it that way. It is an addiction. It is an addiction, and you're the only one who can stop it. So you've got to be able to go, yeah, I hear you, I see you. Not resist it. Not like, oh, I don't want to think about it. But you're going to be like, I hear you, I see you. You know what you did to me? You destroyed my self-esteem. You bankrupted me. You were vicious. You were mean. You were cruel. You lied. You cheated. You gaslit. You know, all of those things. Nope. No, thank you. You know what? I value myself more than to have your name in my head. Thanks for playing. And then you send it on its way. And if you need to, journal it out. Why are you continuing to bring them up? Why are you continuing to think about them? In some cases, it's that inner child workbook, Catherine Taylor, self-esteem workbook, Glenn Schiraldi. So in some cases, it's the inner child attempting to keep them close so we can heal them. I know. So we do that. It's like, especially if we've got issues with family of origin, it's like we try to keep the abuser close in our heads so we can figure out a way to fix them. Nope, not your job. Not your job. That is beyond your job description. It is out of your means to do, you know, and it's not your job to fix them. And plus the fact they don't want to be fixed. And that's the sucky part of that whole thing. So anyway, thinking about them is normal. It does happen. Okay, so that doesn't mean anything. All it means is your brain is trying to process why this person, place, or thing that was so important is no longer there. And though, thought stopping. So when you have the thought of them, you acknowledge it. Yeah, I hear you. I see you. I hear you knocking. You may not come in. I value myself way more. No, you may not come in. You know why? Because you did this, and this to me. No, thank you. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Go pound sand. Okay. And then journal it out. Write out every rotten thing they ever did to you so that if you ever start taking a trip down memory lane, you're able to go, yeah, not so much. So there that is. All right, my loves. Excuse me. I will be talking to Marsha Diane on Sunday. We will be talking about her program to help with trauma. And I will be answering more questions on Wednesday and Friday. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a great week. Be good to yourselves. Drink plenty of water.